I'm Kim with Preservation Solutions, and I am here at the Woodcraft store with my new friend Charlie, and he is a relief carver and sculptor. And we've been wanting to do a video on Pentacryl for carving for quite a while. So I saw that Charlie teaches classes here, so I reached out to him and I explained to him what we do, what the products we have, and he's like, well, stop right there. I've been using Pentacryl already for how long?
20 years.
20 years. So I was like, score, would you be willing to come into Woodcraft and just show how you use our products on your amazing artwork? And here we are.
And I'm a walking testimonial on the success of Pentacryl. The sculptures I've done, as I'll talk about, are stable and they don't move around ever again. And I'm very pleased with the product. Hi, I'm Charlie Milliser. I've been a wood carver and carving instructor, teacher for over 20 years. I've been using fresh cut aspen tree logs treated with Pentacryl to stabilize them. Had a great degree of success. I sell my work, and when I sell it to a customer, I want to give them a very stable wood sculpture that's not going to move around. My method for doing this is a log that I've had drying in my garage probably over a year. I've repeatedly covered it with Pentacryl, painted it on. I also have drilled holes to further soak the wood with Pentacryl. I put it in my garage on furring strips to lift it up off the concrete. I put a plastic bag over it loosely so it will dry, but it slows the drying process down a bit. This log is ready to carve. This is a log I've had for about 2 months. I have coated it with Pentacryl. I have even drilled a few holes in it, and I will put Pentacryl in those holes, further soaking and saturating the wood. This one is ready to carve, and I have it on my carver's vise, and I have some ideas on what I'm going to carve. These logs are freshly cut aspen logs. One of my strategies on this is to actually drill holes on the knots in the wood, and about 2 inches deep or so with a 1/2 inch drill. The next step I use is to then begin coating these with Pentacryl. So I'll take a bottle here. And I want to put this on very, very thick. Make sure I've thoroughly covered all the end grain. And I'm looking to saturate, and get as much Pentacryl as the wood will hold. It will absorb some. The next part of this is to soak the entire log. In my artwork, I really like to try to keep some of the bark on the wood. It's just my philosophy of carving. I really want a natural sculpture, and I've chosen to sculpt wood of all the other mediums I could have chosen. And with that reason, I want to show that it's wood, it's just beautiful. And some of the wood you can't add much more beauty to it than what Mother Nature did for it. And before I open this wood up to carve it, it will have had several coats of Pentacryl. I really want to stabilize the wood so I don't have any surprises, and this method has worked so well for me through the years. Now, once again, I'm going to start right now and put it on my furring strips so it will dry. Next is to insert, just for more saturation, into the holes I drilled. So I have my plastic syringe here, and I just squirt a little into each one of these holes. Oop, okay. Okay. This log is ready for my drying process, where I will set it out in my garage Here in Colorado, it's very, very dry, and I will want to control the drying with a plastic bag over it. But once again, you need to put it on pouring strips so that it doesn't absorb moisture off of your concrete. I think in probably 2 months, I could start carving something out of this. I usually have a whole line of projects, so I just put it away and leave it. I will pull it out and check it in about a month. And by checking it, I'm going to recoat it with Pentacryl so it is totally saturated. And I've had a very good success rate with that. To show some of the success that I've had, this is the same log. It's an aspen log, okay? And you can see I've drilled holes initially in the knots in the wood, and this one I hollowed out, but I have repeatedly applied Pentacryl, and while I'm carving, after each carving session, I have reapplied Pentacryl. What I'd really like to show is that this just is an aspen log, but it doesn't have any checking or cracking. This is a wonderful success. And I give credit to Pentacryl on that. Aspen just allowed to dry by itself will crack all over the place. So that's my, along with the 3D or sculpture, I've done bas relief. This is an aspen log. I've treated it repeatedly with Pentacryl as I've carved it. I have 3 wolves running through here. This is another reason I like to use, especially aspen. It has this streaking. So there's my horizon, all the different details. And by the way, on each one of these animals, their fur is not going to be uniform. And in natural, in nature, it isn't. And so this, that variation in grain adds to it, I think. This is planked aspen logs. I glued it up to get this large piece like this. It is a finished piece, and I'm very, very pleased. Give credit to Pentacryl, there is no cracking or splitting. Now, on my finished pieces, I coat them with a water-based polyurethane. The wood is sealed now. It's inert, essentially. Another piece that I just really love, it is a spalted aspen. This one had a lot of age on it, but it didn't crack or anything, and so I have all the streaking and design in the wood. That's really, I couldn't have done that myself. Here is another finished piece here, and I think this illustrates, once again, I drill holes. I saturated this with Pentacryl as I carved it. As I finished each session of carving, I recoated it with Pentacryl, okay? He has been coated then, after I did my staining, with a water-based polyurethane. My one piece that I'm really pleased with, and this is why I love aspen, is I have all the streak and grain that is expressed, and this is just a natural stain that I put on. And as I had this log out, you can see how many holes it had in it. I just needed to find a place to put the face. And then the natural wood grain gave me this buffalo robe, if you will, form. This is my problem bear. As I began carving it, the wood had already had a crack in it. And the crack started to grow. As I kept coating with Pentacryl, it's been very stabilized, but then I went in and refilled it with a clear epoxy. In the final phases, as I get the crack completely filled, I'm going to sand it lightly to make the clear epoxy more opaque, and then carve hair form onto that epoxy. Not really, I can't hide it, but I can subdue the fact that it has this big crack. Once again, it's going to be a good sculpture, and the wood is not going to move. It's going to be basically inert after I seal it with a water-based polyurethane. And I start to wash it down before I stain with mineral spirits. Removes any skin oils and everything off of the wood. I let that dry thoroughly, I have my stains mixed, ready to go. I will add stain to it, and then I let that dry thoroughly. And then I use a water-based polyurethane because it does not yellow. And I'm aware of adding any kind of water-based substances to the wood could make it start moving and cracking. But after it's had the mineral spirits and all, I've had a pretty good success rate with the water-based poly, simply for the reason that it doesn't yellow like oil-based poly.